Have you ever felt like no matter how hard you try, fluency in English still feels out of reach? You push yourself, study nonstop, but all you get is pressure and the urge to quit. If that's your story, then today's podcast is just for you, because I'm about to reveal a truth few people talk about. Fluency isn't a destination. It's the quiet result of small steps repeated day after day. This is Kunzy Podcast English, and welcome to this special episode. Day by day, word by word, I become fluent. It's more than just a phrase. It's a mindset, a mantra that could transform how you learn English forever. So if you're ready to take that first small step, let's begin this journey together. Part 1. Beginning. Don't learn just to be fluent right away. Have you ever felt frustrated watching someone speak English fluently, effortlessly, without a single hesitation? You hear them respond quickly, use words naturally, and you think to yourself, why can't I speak like that after all these years of learning? And then doubt starts to creep in. Maybe I'm not smart enough. Maybe English isn't for me. But in truth, you've fallen into a common trap, the belief that fluency should come quickly. Don't blame yourself. The world today makes us think that everything must be fast. Learn fast, speak fast, get results fast. But language doesn't work like that. There is no shortcut to fluency. There's no magic trick that turns you into a native speaker in a few weeks. The truth is this: fluency doesn't come from speed. It comes from accumulation. It's built day by day, word by word, sentence by sentence, and yes, even mistake by mistake. If you look at the journey of anyone who speaks English fluently, you'll see they're not some genius who learned it overnight. They are simply people who kept showing up every single day. They didn't learn to be perfect. They learned to be consistent, and fluency came as a reward for that consistency. Think of it like planting a tree. You can't force it to grow in one night. All you can do is water it, feed it, protect it, and wait. One day it grows. Learning to speak English is the same. You don't need to memorize hundreds of words a day. What you need is repetition, patience, correction, rest when you're tired, but above all, never giving up. The real question isn't, how can I speak fast? But how can I keep going even when I feel slow? And the answer is, change your goal. Don't aim to be fluent immediately. Aim to be fluent eventually. One word a day, one sentence a day, one step a day. And after a year, you'll have 365 new words, dozens of sentences, and a confidence that can only be built by refusing to quit. That's when fluency arrives, not because you were fast, but because you were faithful. Remember this: fluency doesn't come from talent. It comes from persistence. Part 2, the right learning philosophy. Fluency doesn't come from pressure, but from habit. We often believe that to speak English fluently, we must study a lot, fast, and cram as much as possible. But the truth is the complete opposite. Fluency doesn't come from pressure, long, stressful hours, or forcing yourself to memorize hundreds of words in a day. It comes from something much simpler: habit. Yes, fluency is the result of small, consistent actions repeated every day. Just like going to the gym, if you try to lift heavy weights right away, you'll burn out, get discouraged, and give up. But if you start light and show up every day, your body will change in ways that surprise you. Learning English is no different. One day, you learn one new word. The next day, you review that word and add another. After a year, you don't just know 365 words. You understand them, pronounce them, and use them naturally in sentences. That's far more powerful than trying to memorize 100 words in one sitting, only to forget them all the next day. Fluency isn't a finish line you sprint toward. It's the result of a quiet journey walked one step at a time. You don't need to learn fast. You just need to learn consistently. So let go of the pressure and build a habit instead, a small habit, one that fits into your life, one that's easy to keep doing. You don't need to make English a burden. Just make it part of your daily rhythm, like drinking water, brushing your teeth, or walking outside. And one day, you'll be amazed when you hear someone speak English and you understand. You respond, you speak back, naturally, without forcing. That's fluency, not born from pressure, but from the quiet, powerful force of daily repetition. Part 3, how to speak naturally. Record plus repeat, imitate. Learning English isn't just about memorizing vocabulary or mastering grammar. The most important part, often ignored, is speaking. Because fluency doesn't come from how much you know, it comes from how much you use. And to speak naturally, you need the right kind of practice. One of the simplest yet most powerful techniques is this. Record yourself, repeat, and imitate. Try this. Take a simple sentence like, I'm going to the store. Say it out loud and record your voice. Then play it back. Compare it with how a native speaker says the same sentence. You can listen to a conversation, a podcast, or a YouTube video. At first, you might cringe. Your voice might sound awkward or unnatural. That's okay. That's where the magic begins. When you start to imitate, copy the intonation, the rhythm, the pauses, your brain starts absorbing the sounds like a native. And each day, you record again. You repeat. You imitate. Over and over. Day by day, your voice changes. You no longer sound like a textbook. You sound like a real person. Someone who uses English to connect, to express, to be understood. The best part? You don't need a teacher. You don't need an expensive class. Just your phone and your consistency. Each recording is a step forward. Each repetition builds your fluency. And then something shifts. You notice that your pronunciation improves. But more than that, you become more confident. You stop fearing mistakes. You start enjoying the process. Because you're learning like a child, by listening, copying, playing with the language. No fear, no pressure. Just repeat and grow. And that's how you start speaking English. Not like a student, but like a natural. Part 4, remembering through emotion and experience. Have you ever learned a new English word and felt confident you knew it, only to forget it a few days later as if it had never existed? That's because you learned it with your mind, not with your heart. Vocabulary isn't meant to be stored like files in a computer. Our brains are beautifully wired to remember what's tied to emotion, first experience, and personal meaning. Take the word brave, for example. If you just memorize the definition, having courage, it won't stick. But if you recall the first time you nervously stood in front of a group and spoke English, your voice trembling, but you spoke anyway, that moment is the true definition of brave. Now it's not just a word, it's a memory, a part of your identity, something you lived through. Neuroscience proves that emotionally charged experiences are stored more deeply in the brain. Children don't learn words through flashcards. They learn through touching, laughing, falling, crying, through real life. To remember longer, don't study like a robot. Learn like a living, feeling human being. For instance, when you learn the word freedom, don't just write it down in a notebook. Think of the feeling you had when you first understood an entire English movie without subtitles. Or the confidence you felt when you said no to something you didn't want to do in English. That's freedom. Real. Alive. Yours. You can even create your own experiences. When learning celebrate, don't just translate it. Visualize yourself throwing a small celebration after completing 30 days of consistent English practice. Connect that word to joy, and it will never fade. When you learn through emotion and experience, you're not just memorizing vocabulary, you're living it. And here's the magic. Every time you retell that experience in English, you're also practicing speaking, storytelling, and building fluency all at once. So let each word become a milestone, a mini chapter in the story of your English journey. Because language isn't just a skill, it's a life lived through words. Part 5. The power of the mantra. Day by day, word by word. There will be days when it feels like you're not making progress at all. Days when you look at others speaking English fluently, naturally, and wonder if you'll ever get there. You'll compare your stumbling sentences to their confident conversations, and doubt might creep in. But in those moments, you need something to anchor you, something small yet powerful, a simple reminder that you are still moving forward. And sometimes all it takes is one phrase. Day by day, word by word, I become fluent. This mantra isn't a magic spell that makes you fluent overnight. It won't turn you into a native speaker in a month. But what it is, what makes it powerful, is that it's a promise you make quietly to yourself every day. A quiet commitment that reminds you that you are building something meaningful, one step at a time. Each time you repeat this phrase, you're doing more than saying words. You're reaffirming your belief, reprogramming your mindset, and fueling your persistence. It's like planting seeds. Every word you learn today is a seed. It won't bloom immediately, but if you water it day after day, one morning you'll wake up and realize you're standing in a garden of fluency you planted yourself. And on the hard days, when doubt whispers that you're not good enough, fast enough, smart enough, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and say to yourself, day by day, word by word, I become fluent. Let that phrase become your reset button. Let it remind you that perfection isn't the goal. Consistency is. Success doesn't come from sudden leaps. It's born from countless small steps that nobody else sees. And if every small step begins with the belief, day by day, word by word, then you're exactly where you need to be. Maybe not fast, but steady, unstoppable, growing. From today forward, make this phrase part of your daily rhythm. Write it down and place it where you'll see it every morning. Say it before you study. Repeat it when you feel discouraged. And every time you speak it, you are reminding the world and yourself that you are becoming the fluent speaker you've always dreamed to be. Here's a truth that's often overlooked. You don't need to be a genius to speak English fluently. You don't have to be the smartest person in the room, or have an extraordinary memory, or master grammar overnight. What you truly need is simple, daily consistency. Like drops of water carving stone, fluency is built not in a day, but over time, through your quiet, determined effort. Imagine this. Today, you learn one new word. Tomorrow, you say one short sentence. The next day, you listen to one short dialogue. After a week, a month, a year, you'll look back and realize you've changed. The person who once hesitated at hello is now expressing opinions, understanding conversations, and smiling with confidence when they speak. No pressure. No need to cram for hours. What you need is a tiny but powerful daily habit. Learn one new word. Speak one English sentence out loud. Listen to a short podcast or video. Record yourself and listen back. Write one line in English. Do it again tomorrow and the next day. These small actions, when repeated, will transform you more than any expensive course ever could. And if there's one thing to carry with you along the way, it's faith. Faith that you are improving. Faith that you are capable. Faith that you are worthy of becoming fluent. So start today, right now. Pick a word you don't know. Speak a sentence out loud. Play a short English clip. Don't wait until you're ready. Just begin. And every time you feel discouraged, every time doubt whispers in your ear, come back to this one phrase, your guiding light on this journey. Day by day, word by word, I become fluent. Say it. Believe it. Live it. Because when you do, fluency won't be a distant dream anymore. It will become your inevitable reality. If you found this podcast helpful, don't forget to like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Kunzy Podcast English so you won't miss the next inspiring stories. Your support means the world and keeps this journey going. Let's keep growing together, day by day, word by word.